Advertise with us on YouTube, Facebook, or at ghanamuntianews@yahoo.com. Subscribe or order your monthly newspaper, the Ghana Daily News Network, from ghanamuntianews@yahoo.com for a price of only €1. The Ghana Daily News Network, available in all African churches and in all African shops. 18th September 2008, which looked like any ordinary day on the boisterous streets of Bahia Verde, a suburb of the CASTELVOLTURNO municipality in the province of Caserta, marks the darkest moments of Ghanaian migrants living in Naples. It all began around 9 through 9:30 p.m. approximately, when gunshots heard from the top of the shop where Mohammed, as he is lovely known, worked, serenaded screams of violent anguish. The target, it has been supposed, was an owner of an arcade, 6 drug traffickers. Attack type: massacre. Death: 7 killed, 1 injured. Perpetrators: gangsters from the Casalesi clan. The CASTELVOLTURNO massacre, or Strage di San Gennaro or Strage di CASTELVOLTURNO, are the names given by the Italian press to a massacre perpetrated by the Casalesi clan that led to the death of 7 Ghanaians on September 18, 2008. The massacre outside the Up exotic faction tailor shop on the Via Domitiana was widely characterized as part of a growing conflict between the native Camorra and the immigrant African drug gangs. But amongst those murdered were ordinary people who happened to be at the wrong place. Murdered were Antonio Celento, the owner of an arcade next to Bahia Verde, and 6 African migrants. Samuel Kweku, 26, Alaj Ababa, Francis Entry, 31, Ghana, Eric Efum Yeboah, 25, Ghana, Alex Jime, 28, and Christopher Adams, 28. Ghanaian-born Joseph Ayimbora, 34, survived by feigning death. He later helped identify the killers. The murders also sparked violent protests from CASTELVOLTURNO's immigrant community the following day, which culminated in the signing of measures launched by the Ministry of Interior and the Ministry of Defense on combating organized crime and illegal immigration to Caserta. On September 22, 2008, the first arrest was made in connection with the massacre. Alfonso Cesarano, a Casalesi triggerman, was found in his parents' home in Bahia Verde, where he was under arrest on drug charges, ironically next to the arcade where the 5 victims, Celento, had been killed. The Italian government deployed 400 troops into the area. A huge anti-Camorra operations conducted in that same month by the Carabinieri dealt a devastating blow on the Casalesi clan, resulting in the arrest of 107 people, including prominent members of the association, some of whom were on the list of 30 most wanted fugitives in Italy. Among those arrested were Alessandro Cirillo and Oreste Spagnolo, the main coordinators of the attack. On January 14, 2009, Setola was finally arrested in Mignano Montelungo after a week on the run. During this period, he was included in the list of 30 most dangerous fugitives in Italy and sentenced to a life imprisonment meant in absentia after being convicted on charges of ordering several killings and massacres, including that of Castelvolturno. Down there in French, la base, for many Africans, is simply a password for Europe, the place that has attracted so many of them in the past decades. This is the title of the film, which was inspired by the real-life events of the Castelvolturno massacre, starring is Benin's actor Kande Alassane as Yusuf, Ivorian Musu Monet as Moses, Benin's Italian actress Esther Elisha as Swad, and Fatima Touare as Asetu. Castelvolturno, 30 kilometers from Naples, a Camorra commando breaks into a tailor shop managed by African immigrants, wildly shooting and killing 6 black men. Yusuf, a young immigrant, thus decides to break with his uncle Moses, who, after promising him a better future in Italy as an honest artisan, turned him into a cynical leader of a local coke dealing scene. The young German, the singer Asetu, and the prostitute Swat round out the story, blurring fiction and reality, which seems like the pages of a contemporary crime novel on a contemporary man trapped in a daily struggle for survival. The director, Guido Lombardi, says in the Castelvolturno area reside not only 20,000 Africans, at least half of which are clandestine, but also many Italians who have made the same choice. Africans and Italians, black and whites, have lived in peace for many years. Peace based on the sharing of business, sometimes as accomplices, where the former are willing to pay the latter a sort of right of way, a quote controlled rent unquote. But this is fragile peace subject to terrible short circuits such as occurred on 18 September 2008. The film won the Lion of Future Award at the 2011 Venice Film Festival. La Base is a cautionary tale from the 18 September 2008 massacre that warns about how sometimes what we think will be a happy world won't be. It is also a peek into a world most of us will never know. The Italian government is implementing a mini-amnesty for all illegal immigrants. Maids, caretakers, laborers, cooks, and house elves would be able to come out of a dark shadow of illegality. Employers of illegal workers in Italy would also have the opportunity to come out clean by taking advantage of a decree allowing them to legalize immigrants. The window of time for legalizing workers will begin from the 15th of September through 15th of October 2012. According to the Leon Moreza Foundation, an estimated 380,000 foreign workers need to be regularized, but employers may opt not to do so due to the prohibitive fee. The decree lets employers legally hire foreigners working continuously since at least December 31st, 2011 by filling an application and paying €1,000 each plus 6 months worth of salaries, welfare and taxes. In order for an illegal immigrant worker to be regularized, the law requires that the employment relationships must have been in existence for at least 3 months. The employer will in fact certify that the worker has been working for at least 3 months. The employer will also have to self-certify their income. Workers to be regularized must have full-time jobs. Only domestic workers are allowed to have part-time jobs of at least 20 hours per week. The immigrant worker will be required to show a document issued by the public authorities, proving that he or she has been in Italy since 31st December 2011. It was on the 23rd of August 2010 at Ozinuovi, Brescia, when the lifeless body of Kevin Gabianu, a Ghanaian child of 2 years, drifted away from home. The search for him began on the afternoon of the 22nd of August 2010 at Roccafranco until the morning of the 23rd August, when the little body was found at about 1 o'clock in a canal in the municipality of Ozinuovi. The child disappeared around 1 p.m. on the 22nd of August in the courtyard of the farmhouse where his parents lived and worked. But after frenetically searching up to 3 p.m., the family members alerted police. The research was carried out until Kevin's body was found. It was discovered that he died by drowning in a canal where water is used by farmers for irrigation purposes. This reservoir at the mouth of Campagnola, powered by the Vescovata Canal, half a meter high, is what dragged him away. Among the research squad were firefighters, the civil defense, police, and mountain rescuers of Chiari. The body of Kevin Gabianu now lays at the cemetery of Ridiano. The Ghanaian community do not want to forget, and Kevin will ever be in our memory as part of our migration story. To his parents, we wish them all our condolence. Pierre-Luigi Bersani, Secretary of the Democratic Party, embraced and carried Ambra, a 4-year-old Ghanaian girl, at the end of his speech at the party's festival in Reggio Emilia. Mr. Bersani carried Ambra and the two waved at a mammoth crowd of party supporters who had come to listen to their leader. Ambra is the daughter of Ghanaians who live in Reggio Emilia. Mr. Bersani's gesture, done without uttering a word, was a symbolic and powerful way of expressing the party's stance as far as immigration is concerned. Mr. Bersani has promised on many occasions that the first law they would approve if they win their next election is granting citizenship to children born in Italy of migrant parents and those schooling here. Open support for immigrant rights has made many parties lose elections in many European countries. Democratic parties should therefore be recommended for their courage and commitment to defend immigrants' rights and for their determination to approving a new citizenship law. Schools in Italy reopened from the 12th of September 2012, but as many were preparing to meet their old schoolmates and friends, others had rising concerns to what the new academic year would hold for them. Many migrant students are faced with the dilemma of B-identity, which plagues them from home, society, and school. Being fully Italian at school and 100% like their parents at home. This has not always been easy. Unfortunately, those who would rather prefer not to go back to school to meet the old school prof who keeps on asking them why they do not want to go to their home country, and the other antipathic racist classmates would never understand that most migrant children, especially Ghanaians, have a continuous nightmare of being taken back home. This is not because they would die of hunger, as some have supposed, but because of the fear of the teacher's cane. The statistical bulletin published by the Ministry of Education on foreign students for the year 28-29 showed that between 630,000 foreign students, that's children of migrant workers born in Italy, get better results at schools than those born to Caucasian Italian parents. The difficulties in schooling of children of immigrants are evident in all levels of education, and yet surprisingly, the percentage of foreign children born in Italy who qualified for their university education exceeded the Caucasian Italian students, who had dropped by 2.2%. In Italy, the presence of foreign students in the classroom has fairly increased. According to national statistics, 10.3% of those born in Italy are children of immigrants, and more than 500,000 students in the Italian schools are of foreign origin. With so many different cultures in Italy, there are often tensions and misunderstandings between local and immigrant communities. But these have been called New Italians, or G2, that is the second generation of immigrants who were either born in Italy or grew up here. Their numbers are increasing in Italian society, and young creative talents are emerging from the cultural mix. The school is the first place where people should learn how to socialize and understand how to live and relate with others and teachers. Immigration is a value. We in Italy and Europe are notorious for sending immigrants back to their own countries. We don't have an immigration policy to integrate people, and most people think all Africans as vous comprenez, that is, people selling useless stuffs on the beach. But many of these are graduates that have great cultural backgrounds that is useful for them and for us.
His name is Muhammad. We could call him the Father Unknown.
Protesters in Muslim countries across Africa and the Middle East took to the streets and burned American flags in protest of a film they claimed as insulting to their prophet Muhammad. Mobs turned violent in some places, including Libya, where the U.S. ambassador and 3 other Americans were killed. In Cairo, security forces fired tear gas to disperse more stone-throwing demonstrators. The film has caused uproar from Algeria, Afghanistan, Palestine, Yemen, India, Pakistan, and many Muslim countries. After rejecting Manchester United to sign for Serie A, champions Juventus, Kwadwo Samoa is not resting on his oars at all. Determined to prove he is worth every bit of money the old lady spent to acquire him from Udinese, the Ghana playmaker has begun his Juve career in swashbuckling fashion and was outstanding again as the champions walloped his old club 4-1 on their own really tough this past weekend. The game against Udinese followed a string of excellent performances by the former Liberty professional star, the kind of performances that have left FIFA agent Oliver Arthur, who is mostly based in Italy, in awe. Kwadwo Samoa, quote, is the biggest star in the Italian league, and he continues to do so well and live up to the hype. He plays brilliantly every time. Unquote. Many people in Ghana may be surprised because maybe they didn't have the chance to see him in pre-season, but they played many friendly matches and he was the most impressive player for Juve. The astute FIFA agent is also delighted because as Samoa continued good performance also opens the way for more talents from Ghana to Italian clubs.
is wrong with it? You claim I don't go to church, yes, I follow you to church, and all you do is to be flirting with the pastor?
Listen to me, Eddie. When are you finally going to finish this novel so it can put some food on the table?
By the time I get back to this house, you should be out of here. Hey, look, you are even older than the boy, and I want to honor you with a marriage.
So, Eddie, are you guys getting on?
Yeah, we're cool.
I can see you want someone to pin this pregnancy on. Do you think it's the best thing to do?
What more are you good at? Apart from raising my legs up high in height and just banging the hell out of me in the heat of your pleasure?
Eddie's going at one page. Why
don't you just tell her we're broken up?
Good job.
What are you, if not stupid?
It's not what I think!
Pastor, what has love got to do with age?
Love has nothing to do with age.